Cuisine, and it's an honor to be with you here today. So, I first want to talk to you about where my business started.
So, do you want to go forward? You have to move it forward.
Yeah, are y'all doing it?
You have to move it. So, do you know how to move it? There you go. Okay.
All right. All right. So what you see here is I'm originally from South Carolina. And the slogan for my business is where Southern hospitality meets elegance. All right. And so just a little bit about my business and background. This here is the House of Hope, what you see here. I come from a background of from 19 years old to 23 years old, and let's be authentic here because I want you to really get to know my business because every plate that I serve and every meal that I serve is a step further towards something bigger, you know, a step towards growth, right? And so from 19 years old to 23 years old, I went through drug addiction and a host of other traumatic issues, right? But here at the bottom, you see where I first got here at the House of Hope. This is me right here in the pink. And up here is when I actually started growing here and blossoming. And right here is the end result of when I actually moved here to Indiana. So in 2015, I actually got to the homeless shelter, and that's where I discovered my purpose. So women and children, their birthdays would come along, and they would just look, sad. And so we were required to save money to be able to move out of the shelter. And so what I started doing was I started using my money that I was saving to leave. I started using it to have them birthday parties, right? And so I started having birthday parties for the women and children in the shelter, and just seeing those smiles and that hope, that was just something I never experienced before. It was something that I wanted to see more of, right? And so one of the most darkest moments of my life is where I actually discovered my heart to serve, right? And so before I knew it, they had put me over the kitchen in the shelter. And by the time I left there, I started what was called at the time Food for the Soul. It wasn't yet Netty's Cuisine. And that's also stemming from an organization called the Table of Hope, which will also provide birthday parties free of charge for children in the homeless shelters and disadvantaged. But that's for another time I'll be back. All right, and so now we're going to talk about what the problem is right now, right? So concerning my business, I've catered several events, and people, they were super happy, but I saw a deeper need. I've catered elegant events, provided, the Southern hospitality, that comfort food, but I saw a deeper need, as far as people, hardworking individuals, single moms, or just families, who are just tired from a long day of work, the elderly, just needing a wholesome, hot, home-cooked meal. And stemming from that, I thought of comfort, convenience, and cultivated home-cooked meals for just $10 each. Which grown into Meals on the Go. And so Meals on the Go, again, the foundation of that is comfort, convenience, and cultivated meals that are just $10 a piece and that are located within this community at pickup hubs. Mini freezers. I have one person right now who allows for a mini deep freezer to be inside of their business, and people are able to go online and order those $10 frozen gourmet meals on the go, and they're able to go and pick up during business hours, right? And so with that being said, home cooked food shouldn't just be for special occasions, like catering events. People actually desire that, on the daily and throughout the week. And so, that's where Meals on the Go comes into play, right?
Yay. I like that.
All right. So my business serves two worlds. Catering brings people together at events, and Meals on the Go brings comfort to people in their everyday lives. All right, so catering feeds groups groups with Southern hospitality and elevated flavor, and Meals on the Go feeds individuals with convenience, comfort, and dignity. Together, both solve the deeper problem, which is access to real soul food and soul feel that comes with the feeling of home, right? There's nothing like, especially if you move out of state or you're just whether you're just adjusting or or rather you just miss that feeling from the home cooked meals from your loved ones. There's just nothing like that wholesome hot home cooked meals, right? And so with that being said, that's where the Meals on the Go come into play. So at just $10 a piece, you can access wholesome home cooked meals at just a low rate throughout the week, anytime. All right, and here, let's make sure I have so up here. And so I've had customers cry because of they finally had a meal that felt like home. From moms to busy workers to nonprofits, people who are hungry, for something that feels made for them. Here are just a few of my customers who had.
Nice.
Yeah, right. All right, so I'm just going to read one here today. And it says, it was my first time ordering from her, and I definitely enjoyed the experience. Reminded me of when my TT used to cook family dinners. I would definitely be ordering again.
That's cute.
Right? So I've had people contact me even after, receiving their meals, and just telling me how much of it just felt like home, even, in catering. And that just brings joy to my soul to see people so happy over something that I created, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, and just to discuss some of my milestones within my business. I've grown this business from scratch, literally and figuratively. I've catered community events, created weekly dinner rotations, and helped feed people in hard times. I do this with no kitchen and no love, just a heart and vision, right? And so up here you can see events that I've catered for organizations. I've catered for the South Bend Art Museum, Notre Dame, and many different organizations. And I'm actually just, looking to grow here. And just being able to come here and sponsor an event for 1 Million Cups, that's awesome.
We loved it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And so as I was speaking about that, that's another thing that I will be coming to speak about is about the table of hope. But that's another thing. But I actually love catering, and throughout the years, 2024, I would say, is the year that I actually became super serious about my business, because before it was just, I think I viewed it as more of an hustle and a gift. And so now I actually, over the past years, I've seen that, this is actually more than just a hustle or a gift. This is actually a vision. And I believe that it can actually change lives. And so that's why I'm here. That's why I'm pushing and moving forward. With that being said, I don't just want to survive. I want to build something that's lasting. And so with that being said, this is what can actually help my business to move forward and to become more stable and reach a larger audience, right? So I need a commercial kitchen access. I'm gonna need a consistent access to a licensed kitchen to cook, package, and scale both catering orders and meals on the go. Pickup hub partners. I'm looking for local businesses like barbershops, boutiques, and salons willing to host a small freezer as a pickup spot for frozen meals. Marketing support. help spreading the word, especially through business networks, social media, and community events. Mentorship and guidance. I love mentorship in scaling a food business, managing growth, and building sustainable infrastructure. Funding and grants and connections. Open to introductions to grant programs, investors, or funders who support food access and small business development.
Great.
So these are the things right now that are basically a stumbling block for me as far as growing my business and moving forward. One of the major things also that is not listed here is being able to get corporate contracts. That is one of my major goals because, again, like I said, I mentioned earlier about the Table of Hope, which is something that I will talk about at a different date. But that is a vision that I know that will impact this community greatly. And so with that being said, this is the closing for the presentation of Netty G's Cuisine. So is there any
So let us help you. Does anyone have any questions?
So what's your ideal partner for a pickup hub? Like, what's the geographic area that you're looking at specifically? I mean, you've got barbershops, boutique salons, like geographically where?
So those were just examples. And so any business, if you're a business, then you're eligible to be a pickup hub. You know, just somewhere where, even an organization, if you're an organization that's not a business, as long as you have an office or as long as you have a location where I can physically put a mini freezer, you know, with the Netty G's Cuisine logo to be a pickup hub, because I have an online website where they can order. And so with that being said, with whatever business that gives me information to be a pickup hub, your business hours would be listed. So if they were to order, they would have all these different businesses that they could pick up from, but they would only be able to pick up within that business hours.
Right.
So geographically, like how far out do you want to go?
What cities?
Like South
what,
Bend,
like just South
Mishawaka,
Bend or
Niles,
Mishawaka, Elkhart, like
Yeah, South Bend, Mishawaka, Elkhart, just any neighboring cities. And if anything outside of that, I would be more than happy, you know, to discuss and, you know, and figure out how I can expand, because the goal is to expand, right?
Right.
So, yeah.
Right.
I have a
Okay,
question.
so what I want to know is, like, I'm a person right now who is not able to do all of the things I used to do in the kitchen.
Mhm.
And so Mom's Meals is delivering my food. Will I be able in the future to order Netty G's meals through my Medicaid and Medicare?
Yes, ma'am. So actually, one of my goals here is, as I was talking about that kitchen that I need. If I can get a license and a food permit, then that would make me eligible to receive Medicaid. So I actually want to be able to provide meals and partner with home health care agencies, you know, nursing homes. I want to be able to provide meals for them, you know, so that's actually one of my goals. So I can't do that until I actually have that.
So in the past, the Croc Center used to rent out their kitchen for businesses. So maybe you should look into that.
Okay.
And it's a real big kitchen. They got a freezer, walk-in cooler, all that good stuff. Things here, you can see yourself, you can clean. So I would maybe do that so that I can hurry up and give me some home delivered meals. All right. Thank
So to get a food serving permit, you just get it from the health department, but what you need is a kitchen,
I
right?
need a kitchen.
So there are kitchens that will rent out space, like the individual caterers. I know there's one in Niles,
Right.
and there's one, I think, in LaPorte.
Wasn't there, I feel like somewhere out in South Bend, they were, like a big building, they were putting a.
Momentum.
I like to-
Is Momentum gonna have one?
Momentum's gonna have a
She
kitchen
knows
that's
what's up.
rentable.
Right. So I don't want to interrupt, but where I am in the business right now, being that the kitchen, having a permittable kitchen would actually help me to bring in the income that I'm actually achieving to bring in. Right now, I'm looking for people that would take a minimum, you know, amount of money, but would also be willing to partner with me, whether it's doing fundraising or whether it's me providing food for them to bring in income to their business. So right now, as far as monies, as far as what I've seen that has been available, it's not in my budget. We're trying to scale and trying to grow right now, but I'm willing to barter services to be
All
able
right.
to use kitchen
Okay.
spaces right now.
Awesome. Oh, sorry, someone else?
This is kind of a wild one, but, so the Lucky Gnome just closed, and Jay's Lounge is moving into the kitchen at the Clover Hotel. They don't cater like we did, so we were running that kitchen every day. They're not gonna be doing that, so it might be worth talking to the owners of the Clover Hotel. I don't know when Jay's is moving in, 'cause I know they're doing some work in the dining area, but they might be able to help you with their kitchen.
That's why we come here, people.
Right.
Yep.
That's why we come here.
Awesome.
Good morning. You said that you can order on your website. Can you show us your website so that I can figure out? Because I would love to order one of your pickup meals.
Absolutely, absolutely. So even though it's not here, and you wouldn't be able to, but at the end, you will have a QR code that you can go to scan to reach
Okay.
my
At the end of
business
this?
page. Right.
Oh, okay,
And
cool.
you will be able to find the link in a post that's talking about
So,
Meals on the Go.
Where do you have the drop place now? Do you have one?
Right now, it's at Treasureology. It's
Oh.
Meg Truesdale. She actually has a boutique located in Granger, and right now she is my only pickup hub.
Okay.
Okay,
Good to know.
I'm sorry. In order to get a pickup hub, where's the application?
So right now you would just contact me. We would talk, and I would see if this would be a good fit,
Cool.
and then we would go from there.
Is there a question back here?
I have one. I just wanted to announce that we are all 3 home care agencies right here, and we see a lot of hungry seniors all the time, and we are all scrapping for meals for them all the time, and we would love to partner with you.
Yeah, and let me just say that I've actually had a few elderly people who their family members have actually contacted me for meals, and the children have actually lived in different states, right? And so, over time they have, broken up getting those meals because of not being able to afford it, but they did get married, And so with that being said, it's a need.
Oh, yeah.
It's
No doubt.
definitely
No
a
doubt.
need. And some people, they wouldn't eat certain meals, but they
Right.
would eat my food, right? And so I know that it's definitely much needed and it can be used. So I'm definitely looking forward to partnering with home health care agencies.
Be sure and hook up.
I need your information because I have some information for you.
Okay.
I just did a grant, Zoom this morning about grants, and the lady, if you join her academy, she gives you access to grants every day. So that would probably be another avenue that you could look
That's
at.
an
as well.
idea.
Thank you.
Back here.
Just a suggestion, possibility for a commercial kitchen. Are you familiar with Camp Raybird?
I've heard of it.
Okay.
But,
It's
yeah.
kind of like west of the airport, Lynette, they have a commercial kitchen. It's super in use right now, but during the school year, they don't have camp going every day. And they also would probably be a good population for you to partner with. It's like a very affordable camp. So you could talk to me. My husband used to be the director there.
Okay. Thank you.
I just want to say before I leave, I know Lynette, she's like a daughter to me, and she's very spiritual. I met her at the Center for the Homeless. I used to live there too. And while she was there, she faced a lot of adversity because there was a lot of people that was jealous of her because when she come in a room, she takes over. People love her and she fed everybody, even me. She fed everybody and she's just a great person. She has great food and I think she would be an asset to this community and you would not waste your time dealing with her.
That's nice.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much. That'll wrap us up for today.